Hi, everyone. I am doing another first listen to a band, and funny thing, and well, I have to preface this by saying I don't know if this is the exact order in which they will come out on YouTube, but it just so happens that just before this, I listened to Kings of Leon. That's the band I just experienced for the first time. And now I am listening to Queens of the Stone Age. So it seems to be a rather high-flying, royal bit of company that I'm keeping today. And I wonder what else I'll meet. Some dukes, some earls, some lords and ladies. I don't know. Anyway, at the moment, I'm ready to sit down and listen to Queens of the Stone Age with the song No One Knows. Queens of the Stone Age is an American rock band formed in 1996 in Seattle, Washington, just a couple years before Kings of Leon in Nashville, Tennessee. The band has been nominated for Grammy Awards 9 times, 4 times for Best Hard Rock Performance, 3 for Best Rock Album, once for Best Rock Performance, and Best Rock Song. Well, best rock, however it is, best rock. No One Knows was released on November 26, 2002. It was a chart success, becoming the band's first single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100, and their only single to top the US alternative charts. The song was also critically acclaimed, receiving a nomination for Best Hard Rock Performance at the 2003 Grammy Awards. I can't help but play around with Queens of the Stone Age, rock, music, stones and rocks. You know, it can be messed around with, perhaps. But let's see how they sound. Such an interesting piece. It has this sort of chug, 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 moving along, chug, chug, without actually ever feeling like it's going somewhere. And this funny little guitar, it's such a kind of a chirpy little motif, isn't it? Like, I don't know, a little bird or a little frog or something. But again, it doesn't really seem to have a larger scheme or context. It's just, that's what the music is. And the bass is kind of just sitting there, and the drums again. What I'm saying is, it's funny how everything is there, but nothing really seems to be saying anything specific. And I couldn't help notice that even from the beginning. And I was listening. I waited to pause until now. I was listening. Is it going to go somewhere? Is it going to develop? Well, it hasn't yet. There's a little a little variant that has just entered, and we'll listen to that in a moment. But for this whole first portion of the piece, it's been just that, and with this sort of proclamatory voice. We get some rules to follow, that and this, these and those. No one knows. We get these pills to swallow, how they stick in your throat, taste like gold. It's this interesting mix. And what's the point of it? What is it trying to communicate? How does it carry a message? I can't help but think of these first two lines as being a real key to the song. Well, I haven't been through the entire song yet, so these are my preliminary thoughts. This is my experience as I'm listening for the first time and experiencing this for the first time. And this line, we get some rules to follow, that and this, these and those. No one knows. In other words, no one has a good reason for these rules. No one really knows why they exist. They're just rules. We could be talking about the rules of the fact that this, these, and those are ways of identifying that, this, these, and those. Why? Why those words? Why that? What makes that the rule? But then I couldn't help but think a little bit further on, especially when it got to the line, no one knows. Somehow I thought of that legendary situation in which a royal guard was stationed to guard a specific spot of ground. And when asked why, no one seemed to know. Why? Why do we have a guard posted on this little lot of ground? And after some research and exploration, it came to be discovered that, I'm kind of rusty on this. Was it Catherine the Great of Russia, I believe? Once upon a time, there was a rose planted there, which was a favorite of hers. And so she ordered a guard to be posted there to guard the plant. The rose was long since dead and gone, but still the decree existed to post a guard here. And that story somehow came to mind just as they sang no one knows. In other words, what I'm saying is this music, which kind of doesn't seem to have a lot of reason to exist, not a lot of context, not a lot to say, is by that very fact expressing the absurdity of some of these rules, some of these things that we take for granted and yet we can't explain. When we really look for the reason, they don't really have a good reason, or at least nobody seems to know. And so in that way, this music is incredibly well suited to expressing this idea. We have to follow some rules, that and this, these and those. No one knows. We get these pills to swallow, how they stick in your throat, taste like gold. Oh, what do you do to me? No one knows. And so it goes on, of course, and develops further. But the idea that this is absurd, this is, we're clueless. We have no idea. And that's how it is. So let's see where the music goes from here. But that's what I experienced in the first part of the song. Is this kind of singing with the voice. Is it also a voice? Or is it an instrument? And another song that ends just like that. This, as I listened through to the end of the piece, another song came to mind, which I've heard on this journey, and that is Black Hole Sun. Somehow, I feel like this is a similar expression, this sort of dispassionate, kind of detached commentary on the absurdity of the way we go about things. And as I'm reading the lyrics, and the thought is developed, a journey through the desert of the mind with no hope. I follow, I drift along the ocean, dead lifeboats in the sun, come undone, pleasantly caving in. And I realize you're mine. And then it finishes, heaven smiles above me, what a gift here below. But no one knows the gift that you give to me. No one knows. It's using a relationship as an example of, the sort of malaise and confusion and disconnect that we sometimes experience with life. And it's the same sort of feeling I get when I listen to Black Hole Sun, the foolishness and the absurdity, and even the vocal style reminds me that there are, well, let's see, where was this, in Seattle? In Seattle. There might be some good connection there. I should look that up and see. But that is how I experienced this music, at least this first time around. And if it is truly expressing this nonsensical life, the absurdity of the things we do, even if they're good things, even if they had a reason at some point, even if they still have a reason, this, that, these, those, but if we don't know, it feels like, what are we doing? Just going through the motions, floating along in the sun, dead lifeboats in the sun. The things that are important feel meaningless. We get to the end. Heaven smiles above me, what a gift here below. But no one knows the gift that you give to me. It's almost as if I don't even know. And this line earlier, I journey through the desert of the mind with no hope. It's an expression of I have no sense of direction. I have nothing to really make life feel meaningful, even though there are things that exist which should be meaningful to me, or at least they behave like they should. I mean, why else do we follow rules unless they're important and have some meaning, right? So that's how I perceive this and understand it, having listened to it now just once for the first time. I do feel like there must be some good, solid connections between Queens of the Stone Age and then songs like Black Hole Sun and bands that produced those really famous types. So I need to look into that and see stylistically what are the links. But I hear it. I hear it in the music itself, sonically, and I'll do that off camera. So that is my first exposure to Queens of the Stone Age with No One Knows. I'll see you soon.